All right, we're back. So today has been eventful. We went up to the intake manifold to remove the bracket for the alternator, and unfortunately, hold on one second. Okay, that bolt snapped. Yep, that's right. It snapped. Now everything's off. As far as the wiring, everything's good to go there. And I went down to the bottom. And I got all the spark plugs loose. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. The back one I couldn't get with a ratchet, so I had to go from underneath the truck. And then over here we also got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this one specifically, I had to go from underneath and push up with the wrench, and it broke it loose. That one I could get with the ratchet, and all the rest could be done with the ratchet. I did some brake cleaner around the heads, used some compressed air to clear out all the holes, to make sure nothing was going to be in there when I take the plugs out. So at that point now, I got the fan belt off. I'm going to go ahead, get the valve covers off, start cleaning them. And also I'm going to go ahead and get the engine to top dead center. That way I can remove the distributor and take the manifold off. Not yet though. I have to order a new manifold. I'm not going to use that one anymore. And then under here we have an issue. Now you see that big gap? That's like a 1/2 inch gap on both sides of the transmission. The mounts come down and it actually tilts the engine back to the point where the distributor is actually hitting the firewall. You can't even turn it. You can't mess with it. You can't even move it. I mean, it's almost compressed up against the firewall. So when I take that out, I'm going to get a hammer and I'm going to bang that piece in, and then hopefully that's more than enough room it'll give us so that I could drop the transmission back down. Now if I can't do that, I'm going to go to a machine shop and I'm going to have them make me an aluminum block, and I believe I'm going to put the aluminum block underneath the transmission to the transmission mount, and hopefully that'll give me the clearance I need to keep the engine tilted the way it needs to be. And then at that point, once that's done, we have to drive it a little bit and check the pinion angles, because right now she's pretty angled, and that's all got to be fixed. I remember when my dad had the truck, he used to blow out U-joints constantly, always popping U-joints. So it was like, I must have been probably 12 or 13, and I had to drive this car about 2.5 miles to my dad's shop, and he had to get a car to his shop, and there was no way to get both. So I wound up driving the Camaro at night about 2.5 miles on the side roads to his shop, which at that point I knew I could drive because I was driving cars around my dad's body shop for years. You know, I've been driving since probably I was like 7 and maybe 6 years old. Like, I've always had go-karts and quads and dirt bikes and mini bikes, and you know, so I knew what I was doing. And plus my dad already knew I could drive the car because I've driven it multiple times on like his friend's property and stuff. Actually it was like twice. But yeah, so I'm gonna get a new radiator too. This thing is shot. I don't know if you could see it, but it's old. Transmission cooler doesn't run through this. Transmission cooler is actually right there in the front. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the radiator, get that electric fan off, get that shroud off, and go ahead and get a new aluminum core for a Camaro, an 87 Camaro. That should fit right in. And then it'll cool the truck down. I'm going to be putting back in a 195 thermostat. There was absolutely no thermostat in the truck right at that point. So that's that. I'll update you more once I'm done. Talk to you later. Alright, so we got the radiator out. Took the electric fan off. Alright, pretty much getting ready to take off the valve covers and change out the spark plugs and all that stuff. I might do that tomorrow. It's starting to get a little late. But we got a lot of holes. And there you go, as you can see. Remember, the car was white at one time. Took out the reservoir for the radiator. I'll let you guys see what the radiator looked like. So obviously we had a leak here. And then you come down, destroyed there. And then down here, it's all rotted, damaged, and leaking. So that's done. We're gonna go order an Edelbrock manifold, an aluminum core radiator, spark plugs, and a valve cover gasket. I got a lot to do on this car, but I think in the end it's gonna be awesome. Here we are right now. So I'm gonna be removing the intake manifold now. We got the distributor out, and I'm gonna work my magic on these bolts. Get these things out. That's taking up a little bit of time today because I was checking things out, you know, as I go and cleaning things, and I got the radiator out, so that's done. Now we just got to work on getting this manifold off because we got a broken bolt, and I believe we're going to try to weld that bolt and then try to get it off. Now I don't have my angle thing, and that's going to make it harder. Those might be getting done by hand. What about you back there? Some junk. Jeez. This is tough, man. It's not easy working on this truck. So much junk in those bolts. It's like this doesn't even fit. Oh, man. Some of these things fit. Some of them don't. It's very odd. All right, go get a small screwdriver. Might have to go in with the old school method, straight up Allen wrenches, and maybe see if I can blow some of the dirt out of the holes. They don't seem to want me to get anything in there. Oh, that's clean. You're bad. Yes, sir. What? Did you already put the transmission back in? No, there. I took them out. We're on video though, so just making a quick video. Very nice. Like one there. It's like it doesn't even fit. It's pretty nuts. The tool that I was using on the other ones doesn't fit those. Very odd. Gotta get better.
crazy. I did look at the motor mount though. Looks nice.
Yeah, I need to get the engine mounts done too. Like this one fits. We'll see. Actually, it's funny because that one doesn't fit. Oh man. Brett said to get this thing off and then bring it over to his house and he'll weld this screw and try to get it out.
Was it like that previously, or?
No, when it was frozen in there. And when I went and took the alternator bracket off, it broke.
Mm.
And there's not, I knew it was gonna break. There's nothing I could do. Just kind of went with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I figured I'd just buy a new manifold. But fuck that. Let's see if we can save this one. These things are in like the worst possible spots too. They don't give you enough room to get these bolts out. Ugh. Okay, that one's loose. So once we get this manifold off, we'll get it put back on. It's crazy. This is what we're working with. So trying to make this actually fit. For some reason they're all tight. That's crazy, none of them fit. It's either that or people rounded these things out trying to get other tools in there. See, that one fits. Like that other one don't want to work. This is really hard because it takes a lot of pressure on your chest. Trying to get through here. Once I get all this off, I'll do another vacuum and make sure we get all the junk out. Yeah. Nasty. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this one. We'll stop it there and then we'll pick it up again. Alright, so we took off the intake manifold and we're going to start cleaning it now. The gaskets came off pretty easy. The passenger side was a little more stuck than the driver's side. But if you notice, there's some buildup in some of the specific areas on the manifold. And I don't want that going back down, so I'm going to try to vacuum that out as I mess with it. But I don't know what that's from. But I'm glad that we got this manifold and gaskets off so we can actually see what was going on in there. Check it out. Alright guys, well, pretty much got everything done that I needed today. And we'll pick it up tomorrow if the weather holds. If it doesn't, you'll probably get a video of me cleaning and working on the manifold because we have a broken bolt where the alternator bracket was. So we're going to weld the nut on and see if we can get that out tomorrow. And then at that point, I'm going to clean it, get it into the media blasting, and see whether we're going to repaint it or we're just going to leave it the natural metal look, I guess, color or whatever. But I was working on this truck since about 10 o'clock this morning, and it's now about 8:30. I got showered, got all the grease as much as I could off myself, but I mean, I got a lot done, and that's awesome. And if anybody has any suggestions as to, you know, maybe changing up the manifold or maybe doing something to maybe better the car, let me know, you know, because, you know, this is old technology. This stuff was built in 92, 93, so it's like, you know, it's we can step it up a little bit. So throw me out some comments, man. Let me know what you what you guys think I should do to the car, engine wise. I'm thinking about changing the pulleys on it to a more modern belt. That way it's one belt instead of having 3 different V belts. You know, we're thinking about that. I'm not sure yet, but I'm gonna start pricing some stuff and go from there. Anyway, I'm tired. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.